I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be doing a little door plaque for boys, and this is our series of the kids classes, but they're also great for adults as well. So if you'd like to make one and give as a gift to your grandkid or a child, that is fine, or niece or nephew or whatever, that's great as well. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to find one of the little wooden plaques and also a little star cutout. And the cutout I found at Michael's for probably less than about 25 cents, and usually the little wooden things are $1 to $2, and you can find them in the wood section at most of the craft stores. You just want to make sure that it is big enough to put your thing on and allow for your name as well. I would actually like one just a little bit bigger, but I do like this size because this doesn't get lost in the wood as well. So we're going to take our wood piece and we're going to base coat it a light gray. And I don't mind if the wood grain shows through on this. I kind of actually prefer that. So if you don't like the wood grain to show through, then base it with at least 2 to 3 coats so that doesn't that wood grain does not show through. And base coat your sides as well. And if you want to go ahead and do the back to completely finish it off, please do that. I gotta pour myself a little bit of gray here, and the color I'm actually using is Drizzle Gray by Delta, but like I said, any light gray will do. And then I took my star, and I've already got it drying. I base coated it in black. You also could do it, well, it wouldn't show off with the silver, but I think a silver one would really look like an old silver one that came from the West or whatever. So, okay, so we've got that kind of there. I'm going to give that a minute to start drying. If you have a heat gun, you can heat that up just a little bit, but it dries really fast anyway, so I'm not going to quite worry about that so much. And the same when you base coat your star, make sure you do your sides and everything as well. We're going to let that actually dry, and we're going to go over and we're going to start working on our star. And I'm going to use the number 2 tool, and I'm going to be using silver metallic. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot in the middle so that I know where my middle is. And I'm going to work with the number 1 tool, probably the larger end, maybe the smaller end. You can kind of make a couple strokes and see what you like as well. And I'm going to let that warm up just a second here. And we're going to come in and get rid of that fuzz, because that will come off on our thing. We're going to come in here and we're going to do a stroke on each side, just right where that side comes together. And we're going to pull it out towards that circle. Okay, now we're going to go the other direction. We're going to hit the other side, so almost next to that other stroke, we're going to come back with our silver. And if you haven't worked with the Crayola Crayon, there is a video on my YouTube website that says how to do wax design basics. Check that out. Okay, so we've got all of those done, and then I'm going to come in, and where those meet, I'm going to do descending dots. You also could sponge some silver underneath this as well, and that would really be neat. And if you did a lighter color, you could write the person's name in with a Pen or a Sharpie. Oops, I did drop there. So we're We're going to hit that one there. I'm going to let that other one dry before I remove it. And then I'm going to come back in with my number 2, the smaller end, and put bigger dots on the end of these. When you're working with wax, it's best to go around it and not come over like I just did, because if you drip, then you don't drip on your gourd, or your piece. I'm so used to working with gourds. So we're going to remove this. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of black paint in there to clean that back up. So it would be as if we never have done it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, using that tool again, I'm going to do one dip on my melting pot and then come down here. So that melting pot that I did up here, the dot would be the larger one, and then the second one and the third one. So we have finished our star. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come back over to our little plaque, and instead of using black this time, I'm going to use a real dark green, like a forest green. And I am taking my sea sponge, and you could use, if you don't have a sea sponge, you could use like a kitchen sponge. You just won't get as quite as nice of the designs. Wet it, but completely wring it out so that it is not dripping wet. And then I'm going to come into my color and I'm going to pull my color out. Don't dip into it, pull into it, and then go into that color. And then we just want to sponge just the edge of our little plaque here, not too much. And I'm just going to come around here. And I'm just coming back in here just to kind of, so that doesn't look like the same design, because we didn't turn it, so it all looks like it's going the same direction. And I'm sponging in between that just a little bit so that we have that nice border along that. You could also paint that same color around your edges, and that would also help bring that out as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on, make sure I kind of know where I want it to go, and I'm going to write my name now so I know how much room I have left to work with. And I'm using a white charcoal pencil. Okay, and I'm going to put that on with red, just so that would show up. If you were kind of doing a camouflage theme, you could use brown or something like that too, but I'm going to use red because it'll show up a little bit here. And I am going to start at the top with my strokes and pull down. You can also start at the bottom and pull down. And remember, the slower you go around, the longer you can pull those strokes. If you didn't get the S all the way around, then stop at one end and bring him at the other end. And then my circle, or my O, I did the same thing. Okay, so we've done our little name, and you can remove that with your charcoal pencil with a damp Q-tip if you have any that's showing, and then just simply take your glue. You could use tacky glue or wood glue and glue that right onto the name, and then after it is glued, then spray varnish it. You don't want to glue or spray varnish it before you glue it, because then it makes it harder to stick and it doesn't like to stay as well. So there is our little name plate for a little guy's room. So I hope you enjoyed our video today. If you have any questions about this project, please email me at art@miriamjoy.com, or for any of the products we may have used today, please visit my website at miriamjoy.com. And also there's a YouTube link there for more fun and exciting videos, as well as a Facebook link. And you don't have to be a member, just jump on over and see what we're posting up there for you that day, and that is under Miriam Joy Gourd Creations. So thank you for joining me today. God bless.